Salud, mi gente, your boy coming through once again. And on today's video, we're going to talk about Houston Smooth slash rapper slash Tango Blast gang member. This individual is doing interviews, but I came across something that basically exposed why this individual actually went to prison, because he's throwing a different story out there, and it's all bad, man. Of course, before I spoke on this individual, I went and did some research. I seen some interviews, I heard some interviews, and his stories are way out. Like, honestly, when I went to the comment on this video, all comments were like, most of those comments were like, "Damn, this guy's a real one." Everything positive. But when I heard that story, it sounded awful. It sounded way off. And we're going to discuss this, man. But before we continue with this video, do not forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we drop a video. So let's get to the story. So this individual, according to him, was the baddest, downest individual in prison. He got down with everybody, because they didn't like him, because of the way he spoke, right? According to him, he did an interview, and he said he went as a juvenile. He was getting in trouble here and there, going to juvie, getting out, stuff like that. Came a point when he was 13, 14, when he committed a crime. He broke into a house, did $50,000 in damages. This, of course, led him to go into the big leagues. Prison, juvenile prison, right? Now, that's what he said he went to prison for. Eventually, he went through juvie. He did what he had to do. Well, not juvie, it's more like CYA, but of Texas. I don't know what the name of that is. Then after that, they sent him to prison. As a 17-year-old, they sent him to prison. As soon as he hit prison, he has to do what they call a BMW. Had to get down with the black, a Mexican, and a white, right? At this time, he ended up getting in a fight with the 30-something-year-old when he was 17. And he got his ass whooped 100%. Now, that's what he said he went to prison. Now, I'm going to tell you what he went to prison for. So this individual at that age of 13, 14, actually, what he did, it was a S charge. And it was against somebody who was 5. That's why he went to prison. And I'm going to be posting his paperwork right here, man. But as I was seeing his interview, man, I noticed things that were off on this individual that didn't go with a real G, right? You know that this individual is off when he talks about this in the open. So this individual used to get down in prison. Once he went to prison, right? I'm not going to talk about the juvie, but once he went to prison, getting down here and there. He was not part of nothing. Just the youngsters getting down and stuff like that. Eventually, at one point, he got tested. They say agora testing. They do agora testing on this individual, right? To see his heart, like if he's down or not. He does that. He said he immediately went to the shower and hit one. And was talking about something about do whatever you want with my body. I'm like, what? Is this a convict? Is this individual saying this on a platform in front of another convict who has done time in federal prison? Right, so right there, boom, first alert, like what's going on right here? I never heard nothing like that. But again, according to him, he thought that the prisoners thought that he was crazy because he was doing that, right? That's his story. Again, if you're from Houston, if you're from Texas, let me know how your program runs, man, because this individual came with some crazy ass stuff. And at one point, the guy who was doing the interview like checked him real quick, man, and this individual like backtracked, like, oh yeah, you're right, so he's getting down. Eventually he got approached by the Tango Blast, right? Want to join in? Look, we are about this stuff like that, blah blah blah. He joined in, but he's still saying that he's still fighting his own fights. He don't need nobody else, right? So he's still with the business, right? This individual who is in prison for a S charge offense. He's doing this. He's talking all this toughness, right? Eventually, something pops up in where a youngster walks through the day room. Goes, it's a new booty, man. New booty. White guy, new booty, man. Goes straight to his cell. So him and his boy apparently are like, hey man, look what's going on right here. I think he's going to your cell. So we have Houston Smooth running to his cell as this youngster is about to close the door. He described him, white boy, small size, you know. So he goes in his cell, basically tell him what he has to do in that cell. Like, look, man, take off your this is my cell, do this, do that, do this. Man, you can't say that in California, man. So I don't know, again, how people over there act. But the way he was describing how he treated this individual and eventually called him his B word, you know, that individual was going to be his bitch. You know, so at that point I was like, what? So he hit this youngster and told him, hey man, what are you in here for? Youngster said, oh, for aggravated assault. And then Houston Smooth, well, like, oh, you mean S, aggravated assault. Same charge that this individual is in prison for, right? I'm just saying. So do you have this Chomo present another Chomo, right? But this Chomo, he thinks with the business because he got all them tattoos and stuff like that, right? And nobody found out about it. Again, tell me how things are run in Texas. So the youngster, he sees this guy intimidated, don't want no problems. Houston Smooth lets him know, hey man, from this point on, you're gonna do everything in the cell. Clean the floor, do the dishes, laundry, everything. You are my B, right? When you go to the store, that's my store. I'll let you eat here and there, but you will not eat next to me. I'll make sure that nothing happens to you because you have that charge that if people knew about this, be all bad. But again, this individual has the same charge, right? Then eventually, he's saying that the Tango Blast don't accept that, right? To have somebody under the wing. That has to do with a different race. So the whites approach this guy and tell, hey man, why you have this guy under your wing? You don't supposed to do that. He made a case and he called the white guy out, basically saying, okay, you know what? I see the rules, I understand them, but let's get down real quick. If you win, you can have this individual free. If we get down and I lose, or you lose, I mean, meaning Houston Smooth wins the fight, this white guy has to pay him every so often. I don't know if he said $80 every 2 weeks or something around there, or $25, $30 per month, you know. So of course the white boy is like, nah, I don't want the problems. I'll pay you. And that was it. Now, think about this. When he was saying this about this white guy going to cell, having those type of charges, the guy who was doing the interview was like, hold on, man. I can tell that there's a big difference between the Mexican program and the white program. This individual, Houston Smooth, said, why? Why would you say that? Like, what's the difference? And the one who's doing the interview was like, because if he was white and they would have known about his charges, they would remove him out the yard. He wouldn't be right there. Right there is when that whole story does not make sense, because he's like, oh yeah, you're right, huh? Yeah, I guess you're right. So tell me, how was this thing allowed? If he's assuming that, or he's confirming what this guy's telling him, you know? So it shows how his story is way off. Of course, he's saying it on public, on a platform, that he's abusing this white boy, right? And again, people in the comment section think that this guy is a real guy, you know? So this individual got exposed. He was actually in prison because of those charges. There's his mugshot. I show the paperwork. And it's crazy how, again, all this paint, you know, when you see people with tats and all that stuff, that's a front, bro. That's a front, you know. A lot of people use that, bro. And the story that this guy is putting out there, I had to question it. Tell me who gets in a fight and then goes over there and hits one in the shower, starts singing, and everybody, all the inmates think that he's crazy. Like honestly, like, damn, I don't want to mess with this individual, you know. It just amazed me, the story that this individual put out there on the internet, and how he didn't get no backlash on this. He did this interview 5 months ago, right? So I'm assuming that he just is coming to the internet. He's telling his story. He wants to get some clout here and there because he's a rapper, right? From Houston. His name is HOUSTONE Smooth. But now he got exposed of actually being a chomo, or how some of us will call him a chomi. So with this being it, we are out to next video. Salutes, and always never judge a book by his cover. With this being said, we are out. Gracias.